I'll be right with you. Hello, everybody. I set this as a live chat because my camera equipment was not set up in here, and so I just decided I would just go live to do this, and it's a short challenge to me from Kathy, and so I thought I would come in and answer her questions that she challenged me with. She's on my, she's, hold on, I messaged her to tell her that I was doing the challenge. So I see I have one in. Anyway, this is a challenge from Kathy about who I am, and it's something to get to know me a little better. And so she challenged me, and so I thought I would come on and do it and answer it this way. And Tom's in the living room, and I'm sitting here. I was sitting here at the desk watching videos, and thought, well, why not just? It's all right. It's all right because this is who I am too. I darn sure don't always fix up. But she challenged 5 people on this, and I'm interested to know. And I listened to hers, and I was so touched. That part of hers that it had me in tears. And bless her heart. Hello, Juliet. Yes, I'm up. I'm on late. Hi, Mike. And there's Kathy. I'm answering Kathy's challenge, and I just decided I would just go live to do it. Why not? So I didn't want to set up my camera and do all that and try to figure out where I was going to do it or how I was going to do it. And yes, Kathy, that just had me in tears. It really did. Hey. I'm going to do Kathy's challenge, and then I'm not going to stay on too long, but I'm going to answer some questions about who I am for her. She challenged me. Thank you, darling. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, darling. Thank you for coming in. It's just going to be a short one, and but I was touched by hers, and I thought, well, what better time to do it than directions, I think. I know. Oh, sweetheart. Well, see, and that touched me too. Okay, Mike, we're going to get going. We'll get going. What's your name and who named you? My mother named me, but it was very diplomatic because I was named after both of my grandmothers on both sides. My grandmother on my mother's side was Mary Ethel. Thank God she didn't name me Ethel. And on my father's side was Nellie Cordelia. And thank God she didn't name me Cordelia. Ethel Cordelia would not have been good. So my full name is Mary Nell. And there's only 1 or 2 other people that I know of that has ever gotten in contact with me whose name is Mary Nell. And it's not 1 name, it is 2. So anyway, that's my name, and my mother gave it to me. And Tom's giving me loving right now, and he does this every time I go online. He's got to come over and give me some loving. And I'll kiss his big old bald head. And then how many siblings do you have? Well, I had 4. I was from a family of, there was 5 of us kids, and 2 of my brothers have passed away. And So when Kathy was talking about hers, that really touched me because my brothers are gone too. My oldest brother and my next to the oldest brother both passed away, and it's been hard. When my next to the oldest brother passed away, him and my sister-in-law passed away within 12 hours of each other. So that was very hard. It was very hard. So I know what she's talking about when you have to do a double memorial. Um, and my oldest brother was he was the he was just the coolest man in the world. He was the coolest brother. He went through this, hi Sabrina, he went through this life snapping his fingers and dancing, and just his life was just soul of joy. And he could snap his fingers louder than anybody I know of. And he danced when the American Bandstand was on. He actually danced on that show. And I was just a little girl, and I remember that. And and he hugging me. Bless your heart, sit down right here. Get the chair. So anyway, uh, Kathy and I have a lot in common, and we have found a very uh, deep closeness. And I love her dearly, and we have a lot in common. But anyway, were you close to your cousins growing up? And yes, I was. We came from two families that lived in the same community, and we grew up together, and we were very close, and still are, and still are. We don't see each other like we did because nobody does when they get older. They just quit doing and going, and but that doesn't mean don't love them anymore or less, because we had some good times, very good times, and spent the night with them. And it's where I learned farming, was spending the night with those girls. Hi BC, how are you? And the other thing is, did I have a close bond with my grandparents? And yes, I did. My grandmother on my father's side was just a dream. She was a dream grandma. She sewed, she knitted, she cooked, she gardened, she done all the things, and I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be like her because she carried herself with such grace, and they were dirt poor for a long time. But by being poor and by having her faith, she was a graceful woman. And I will always be really proud of her. Um, had some of my fondest memories was going to her house and spending the night with her. And I was, I grew up in a very, well, it's called primitive Baptist church, very low key, you know, low key. Um, I mean, there was faith there, but it was not, it wasn't like the Assembly Gods and some of the other churches. And my grandmother Lawrence went to them. So there was a lot of hallelujahs and amens and, shouting and arm waving. And anyway, I'd get up and I'd go to church with her. Well, half the time I didn't have any clothes. So my grandmother was a tall woman, Kathy, like you are. And she would put me in her so that it was not too long on me. She wore a size 11 shoe. I wore a size 9, and she would give me a pair of her shoes and stuff the toes with cotton. And that's the way I went to church with her. And I know them people must have thought I was the poorest little child they'd ever seen in their life. Ah, okay, honey. Thank you for coming in. But anyway, yeah, I went to church like that with her. I don't know how many times until I finally got old enough to remember to take some clothes to go to church with her. So, and my grandparents, my mother's grandparents were a lot older than my dad's. They had, my mother was the baby of the family, and they had 9 children, I believe. I would have to, I'd have to look that up, but they had a lot of them. And so Mama was the baby. So they were well up in their years, when they got old. And but my granddad lived to be 97, I believe 97, 93 years old. And Tommy is named after him. And I was very close to him. And my grandmother died when I was about 10, so I wasn't as close to her. Tom got his name. Herb's grandfather was named Thomas, which was a plus. But when I went in to tell my grandfather that I was pregnant, he said, out of all of my kids and my